We're looking at how to change a laser kicker primary and control line on a Harken system. Selecting your kicker primary. First of all, you've got to note that there are two types of kicker primary, a 4mm and a 3mm. The 3mm works best with the pinched key block. You see the sides of it have been pinched in, and the 4mm works well with the old style kicker system where the old 3mm ones used to jump off the wheel. But since they pressed in the sides of the kicker primary, the 3mm works best. First thing you have to do is take off the control line if you're going to change the kicker primary. I might as well take it off completely so at least you can see how to change the control line itself as well. This one's not in bad nick though, so I'll just replace this one again. And now we'll take off the primary. So I'm going to reverse cow splice, passing the loop over the end of the block. It's going to be tight. It was tight when it was first put on, so it's going to be tight now. There you go, off it goes. And then you can unthread the old primary. When we used to build kickers, we used to attach tape around the key. Stops the kicker from falling out of the boom and saves that elastic trying to hold it in there. Just it pushes in and sits really nicely. Okay, so the new kicker primary's been put on. It's 1.1 meters between loop to loop. We're going to cow splice it onto the kicker, onto the becket of the key block. You're going to go down through the Harken kicker system, and this is where the 3mm works really well. It goes very nicely through the pinched key block, whereas the 4mm would be a bit of a struggle. Now you're going to cow splice it onto your double block and becket, so the loop goes through the loop of the block and over the end. It's going to be hard. Well, it's a bit too easy really, but that's on now. And just adjust it to make it work. And now you want to set up the double block and becket so that the becket part is at the top. Right, let's load the control line. Through the fitting, above the pin, round the pulley, back out the top, and of course between the pulleys and the primary pulley. Okay, I've left a handle in this control line because it's fine, that's why I'm just putting it back on again. So we're going to go very nicely. Harken have lined all these blocks up, so we're going to go through the bottom one at the same angle. We're going to go through the bottom one on the bottom, the top one on the top one on the bottom, and finally we're going to finish off at the becket of the double block and becket. I'm going to do an overhand knot, and I'm going to arrange the overhand knot so it doesn't give it any friction, so it's going to be sitting on the outside of the kicker, out the way of the other control lines, so no friction given by the knot. Another thing I do is I tend to tie a handle when at the max off position where the handle sits at the cleat. This basically because if I had a loop like most people have, by the time I'd got my hand in the loop I'd be over the transom when the kicker was max on. So a knot handle just shows where the end of the control line is, and I have a knot in the end of the control line to tie it to my top of my centre board. We do this system this way for two reasons, because even if the control line were to fail, you could get home because the primary line is being restricted by the double block and becket on the key block, and that's the max off position. It also might be because your cleats failed, but this system always enables it to work. At the same time, it gives you the maximum range of movement, and this is about where I get my kicker on my radial, on max on. And I guess the last thing you might want to check is just to make sure that your kicker is finished and it's the right length, and it should be between pin and key about 25 inches. That was that. All done.